It's here. AMD's brand new 6800X, no wait, 7800 XT. Sorry, it gets a bit confusing because they're pretty much the same GPU. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Today I'm going to be comparing AMD's newly released 7800 XT to their last gen 6800 model. And I did say newly released because if you're watching this video, both the 7800 XT and 7700 XT have been released. So the review embargo and release date are the same day.
Okay.
And obviously that's frustrating. I hate when Nvidia does it, so it's no different for AMD. With that said, if after this you are interested in picking one up, I'll have affiliate links down in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything more, and it helps the channel out. Now, AMD did send over a review unit, and thanks to that. But of course, I won't be letting that affect this review. Regardless of all that, as I alluded to in my intro, the 7800 XT is very similar to its last gen counterpart. Of course, the looks have changed with a familiar design to the 7900 XT and XTX, but with a dual fan shroud instead of a triple fan setup like the higher end parts. Ultimately, it's not a bad look. When it comes to specs, you might be a little confused, because a new generation typically means more cores. Yet the 6800 XT comes with 72 CUs, while the new 7800 XT only comes with 60. Of course, AMD's RDNA 3 cards have higher clocks than their 6000 predecessors, and while they both have 16GB of GDDR6 memory, the 7800 XT uses slightly faster modules. Plus, they're a little better at ray tracing and have a newer architecture. So what this ultimately means is that you have a GPU with fewer cores than last gen, but essentially the same performance. And when I say the same performance, I mean pretty much identical. As you can see in these benchmarks, the 6800 XT is neck and neck with the 7800 XT. Actually, it tended to eke out a win in quite a few games. Even in ray tracing, the 7800 XT lost on occasion. Of course, I guess that's what happens when your ray tracing cords are tied to your regular cords and you lower how many are on your new card. Listen, I hate to harp on this, but it's just wild to see AMD make a new graphics card that has a similar architecture to their previous one, yet with fewer cores. Even if you kept them the same, it would be odd, but fewer? This isn't a CPU where the core count doesn't always scale well. Still, the 7800 XT held its own against its younger brother, given pretty much everything was within a margin of error. Let's just say it's pretty obvious why AMD only compared the 7800 XT to the 5700 XT, and that's one of the reasons I knew to compare it to last gen. Of course, with that said, one key thing has changed from the 6800 XT to the 7800 XT that runs in the new card's favor. The 7800 XT comes in at just $499, while the 6800 XT was quite a bit more expensive at release, not to mention how much it was during the height of the pandemic. With that said, the 6800 XT has remained on sale, and AMD's been forced to lower the price to at least have something competitive with Nvidia's lower-end cards. This is one of the downsides for AMD when they decide to release their cards so late in the game. Then again, they're the ones who decided to release the same GPU twice, but at least they'd have the bonus of a much cheaper version had they released it a year ago. Now it just looks like they're refreshing the 6800 XT, but what's wild is that it's not a refresh. It's a full new architecture and everything. With all of that said, AMD's ultimate competitor is Nvidia, and on that front, the 7800 XT does look to be a decent buy. It's made to challenge Nvidia's 4070, and at $100 less, it's definitely not bad. But ultimately, I think that just shows how terrible the 4000 series actually is, or really all of the current gen cards for that matter. This generation has really been a big disappointment, but I guess prices not being completely through the roof at least somewhat makes up for it. So while that does it for today, what do you think about AMD's new 7800 XT? Is it nothing but a massive disappointment, or is it at least good that it's cheaper than Nvidia? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. And as always, have a great day.